Good morning and welcome back to another Liquid Mind Wellness voiceover with your favorite massage therapist, Andrea, me. So I have this beauty here. She was a willing victim for a several-hour spa day. She purposely came to assist me in a film day, and I asked her what her body is feeling like these days and what she would like me to work on, and she mentioned her hips are tight. So I wanted to practice some Thai stretching that I seen on Instagram by someone who I follow. I'll try to tag him in this video. Not sure if he has a YouTube channel, but I do follow him on Instagram. And I thought to myself, I haven't done Thai stretching in a while, and mostly because I am a girl with a bad back, and a lot of people, I'm so sorry to say, you're kind of heavy. So she was right around the weight that I can handle, especially for practicing. And with Thai, you do want to find that happy balance between the client getting the stretch they need and the decompression they need and the movements, alongside with serving yourself, counterbalancing that weight, figuring out the fluid motions that you both can do, like the yin and the yang. And so practice, practice, practice. So this is my first Thai cocooning, and I don't know when. This is actually my first time cocooning. But Thai massage, I do implement that throughout my massage therapy when needed, especially if it flows in that direction. Some people naturally flow into Thai movement. They're just releasing their body to me and allowing me to be fluid. With that said, let's talk about this massage. So I draped her legs over my leg, and as I push down, her rear end lifts up and gives her lower back some decompression. And I did verbalize with her, and I said, "Do you like that?" She says, "Oh my God, that feels great." So yay, that's a win. I will use my right leg on this side, and then when I go on the other side, I'll use my left leg to try to counterbalance each leg that I'm using and try to keep my body and body mechanics in balance, in check, while I'm serving others. As you can see, she's actually very limber in her joints. Right around here, she goes, "Ooh." And I asked her, "What does that feel like?" And she said, "My hips feel tight." So I'm just checking her out and seeing what moves and don't move. Excuse me. So as you can see, when I bring her legs down, they just float down. So her joints are flexible as I'm testing out her range of motion. But as soon as I hold her knees steady and I lift up a bit, she's got a great L shape. But she did say, "Ooh, I feel it's tight right there in my hamstrings and my hips." So again, I used the opposite leg and I draped her legs over, and I'm just doing a little decompression, a little movement, just moving her around, finding where her hot spots are. This is our first session together, so this is what you do during a first session, including the rest of the sessions. I'll probably do the same thing. I'm always going to check out how you feel today in this present moment. So when I lift her legs here and I give her a little side stretch, she had a natural adjustment in her ilium, so she did pop, and most people do enjoy that when it happens naturally. Again, as you see, when I bring her legs down, they kind of just fall to one side, very limber. So she probably needs some stability. So if I were to recommend her to Kevin Voda, I would recommend some stability exercises. And as I did work on her today, I did make a note to myself in my head. I said, she definitely needs to do some bridges and some glute work to strengthen up her glutes. So yeah, now I'm doing a static hold, trying to give her knees just the right amount of hold, not hyper extending them, just keeping them neutral. And I had her push back on me a bit to activate her hamstrings and then release so I could see if she could go forward a bit more. And I did have her flex her feet and point her feet, flex her feet and point her feet to activate the hamstring and the quad. And so that was that. Just a little bit of hip stretching in a cocoon. I'm pretty sure she's nice and warm and doesn't want to be released into the wild, but here we go. So, unwrapping this beautiful human. And here we go. I'm going to start with the feet like I always do, the grounding. And I'm going to do a nice little move that I love where I slip my knees behind your back and I bring your legs to my hips and I lean back while engaging in my core and my hamstrings and my glutes, making sure my lower back is stable while giving your lower back some decompression. Just a little bit of movement to see how she feels. We're not going to stay here too long. She really didn't need a lot of that. She's very limber. You can tell when I mush her around or compress her and jiggle her, you can see how everything is fluid. As I bring her shoulders up over her head, she has no shoulder impingements, no elbow inflammation or issues there, and no wrist problems. So we're moving on now, starting with her left leg. Just going to check her range of motion in her hip socket and see what I can find. She did verbalize that the inside of her abductors are tight right when I did that right there. Again, her joints are limber. I mean, her knee goes all the way to her body, which is fantastic. So she'll need to complement that hypermobility or that flexibility with stability and strength. That would be her next journey if I had a recommendation to give her. And so again, right there, she said her inner abductors have been giving her some ish. So I put a towel over her to give her some modesty, and we're going to do some active stretching. So I'm going to put my hand on top of the attachment side of her abductor while stabilizing the opposite side, and I'm going to ask her to activate just enough to warm up those tissues. So when I do push down again, when she is relaxed, I can give her a little bit of a stretch in her ligaments, in her fascia, and in her muscle. So right there, she's activating. And then relax. As I stabilize the other side. I'm going to repeat this several times and then move on to the next side. So while I have you here off topic, while I'm applying this method to her, if you are in the Citrus Park area in Tampa, Florida, and you would like a film session with me, I do charge a discounted rate for filmed sessions. It would be $50 an hour, maximum 2 hours. All you have to do is DM me and we'll go from there. Stretching can feel a little painful, so I make sure to end in some compression. All right, I'm coming around just to give her another little bitty twist. And when I bring her back around, I'm going to give her a different stretch. I'm going to ask her to slightly turn her knee inward to activate that abductor while I assist her in a side, like a side stretch. And that would be similar to if she was doing a side lunge. And that leg's complete. Now I will do everything I did to the left leg to the right leg. And as you can see, look at that flexibility. Fantastic. Put her in a tree pose. Figure 4. Again, turn the leg in, activate that abductor while I give her a side stretch. Checking out all her abilities and her rotations. And now that she's in her tree pose, I'm going to apply the same method that I did on the left to the right. This one looks a little tighter. You can even see her knee is up a little bit more than the other one. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2.